The Evans Bay Yacht and Motorboat Club Regatta attracted entries from all over New Zealand and provides spectacular fare for the onlookers. Competitors find conditions rather uncomfortable owing to strong northerly winds and choppy seas. They're away for the Miramar hydroplane handicap. Avenger shows a nice turn of speed. Rounding the mark in this kind of weather needs care and skill if you're to keep right side up. Miss Foxton's had it. She was caught in a heavy wash and thrown completely over. The race is flagged to a stop and abandoned. The other competitors come to the aid of her driver, and so concludes the first event. The Regatta V-bottom handicap is being run over a course of 3 miles. Under these conditions, the drivers find it quite long enough. Miss Vesta, with open hatches, takes a risk of swamping, but she passes Miss Wairarapa to go on and win her race. The wind and sea had the effect of dampening everything but the enthusiasm of the competitors, judges, and onlookers. Serenade from Wanganui wins her race with Miss Wairarapa second. The big event, the unlimited auto-engined hydroplane handicap, is away with Silver Wings and Supersonic fighting for position. Avenger is prominent too. Supersonic is seriously challenged by Silver Wings, but with an all-out effort goes ahead for a very narrow win. At Petone Foreshore, crews are busy preparing for the New Zealand 8-oar Championship. Wellington's new shell, Betty, is christened by the club president, Mr. W.J. Gowdin. The crews take the water for the 2 main events of the inter-provincial and the varsity 8s to be rowed over the 2-mile Korokoro course on Wellington Harbour. Water and the complete absence of wind make perfect rowing conditions. Auckland University takes an early lead from Canterbury and holds it to the finish. Nearing the finish, Auckland increased the lead from Canterbury to a length and a half, with Victoria third and Otago fourth. Starters for the inter-provincial 8s, which is an important British Empire Games trial, get away perfectly. Wanganui number 1 take the lead from Auckland, Otago, Wanganui 2, Wellington and Southwood. Wanganui stroking 32 to Auckland 36, which they maintain for most of the race. Over the last quarter mile, Auckland draws away from Wanganui, increasing the lead to about 2 lengths. In the final sprint, Auckland have increased their stroking to 40 to Wanganui's 38, and win by a length and 3/4. Otago was third. Auckland are represented by the West End crew, and by this win over Arima Wanganui, prove themselves New Zealand's leading 8.
After 8 years' occupation by the Air Force, the National Art Gallery in Wellington is again open to the public. For months, the Ministry of Works have been renovating its 20 galleries, and the staff have been unpacking the hundreds of paintings and sculpture which were sent to Hastings for safety in the early days of the Pacific War. This portrait of Sergeant Pilot Ward, VC, was painted shortly before his death by the New Zealand-born artist Oswald Burley. Most of the paintings were stored without their frames, and this portrait of Queen Mary, painted in 1939 by Simon Elwes, and presented to the gallery by the women of New Zealand, is being reframed under the supervision of the director of the art gallery, Mr. Stuart McLennan. Paper used to protect the glass is removed from a pastel drawing by Henry Tonks entitled Baby's Bath. The National Collection, valued at more than £40,000 and consisting of nearly 1,000 paintings, includes works by many of our own artists, such as Frances Hodgkins, whose change in style can be seen by comparing her earlier paintings, such as Hilltop and Maori Mother and Child, with her later work, in which she ignored surface appearances and used shape and colour to suggest her subject, as in this study of ruins. In spite of storage, the canvases are in excellent condition, but some of the frames need touching up with gold paint. These paintings are Marjorie by Ambrose McAvoy and a W.J. Leach portrait of Aubyn Glynn. This landscape of the Valley of the Doon is by Harry Watson. A few finishing touches are made and all is ready for the official opening by the Right Honourable the Prime Minister.
I would like to join in congratulations to those who were responsible for the reconstruction, or rather the readornment of the gallery and the rearrangement. And now I have very great pleasure indeed in declaring the art gallery open.